Okay, so what are cover letters? First off, before making a cover letter, you should think about why should I make a cover letter? Well, nowadays everything is online. Even before the quarantine started, even before all of this happened, when you go to a career fair, more often than not, the recruiter will tell you apply to our company online. And when you apply online, the only thing they see is whatever you upload. So because you can't talk to a recruiter online, you lose the personal interaction with that recruiter, and you lose the inability to express yourself. This is where cover letters come in. So, what is a cover letter? Well, it's basically a written elevator pitch. What do you put in a cover letter? Well, there are four highly recommended prompts right here. First, who are you? What type of person are you? Make sure you write that down in the cover letter. Who are you? Your name, your info, your contact info, what school you go to, what's your major, all that. Very short, all the information inside your cover letter somewhere. Next, a paragraph or some type of uh, section where you where you list the motivations that you have for why you're applying in the first place. What drives you? What are your goals? What are your goals for the company? What are your goals in the future? Why are you applying to this company for a specific company? Let's say you're applying to Boeing. Why are you applying to Boeing? If you were an aerospace engineer, you could say, I'm applying to Boeing because I want to learn more about planes. So something simple like that. What can you bring to the company? When a company is hiring you, they're not hiring you to teach you things. They're hiring you because they want someone to teach them things, right? So what can you bring to the company? What are your skills? What are you good at? Not only skill wise, but also in a team setting. Are you good working in a team? Are you good working with responsibilities? Market yourself, not just your experiences, right? When you're writing when you're writing a cover letter, you're not writing a resume. Don't list your experiences. Don't list your schools. Tell if you want to tell them what types of things you did back in high school, back or the clubs you're in college. Go for it, but make sure you elaborate. Here, you express what types of hobbies you have. You express your interests, your goals. This is where you explain why you're in SASE. Why are you in this club? Why are you in that club? Why did you do this for this summer? Right? Make sure they're all relevant. When you're applying for an engineering company, make sure you're writing down well opportunities you've taken that are relevant to engineering. So all in all, this cover letter should be focused on what makes you different from, let's say, another person who's applying for the same job, right? So important things to include: express your interest in a company and the position, right? You want to show that you want the job. If you don't want the job, they don't want you. So make sure you write something along the lines of the work that company name is doing on blank project is very fascinating to me. Maybe list a few examples of those projects. So let's say you're applying to again Boeing. You want what happened with the 737? You want to talk about all the stuff you know. You want to talk about the intricate stuff. Be specific. Next, explain why you're a great fit for a position. Again, why do they want you? What can you bring to the company? Make sure this is clear on your cover letter, because if it's not clear, they won't know why they want to uh, recruit you in the first place. And finally, for your last paragraph, you should conclude by thanking them for considering you. So make sure you thank them first off. Ask them, "Hey, can I get an email? I would really love to talk with somebody." Because a cover letter can only do so much, but getting an email or getting some kind of contact with a recruiter is the best thing you can do. There is no perfect cover letter. Make sure you know. Make sure you understand this. Cover letters are used to gauge what type of person you are. Make yourself stand out. Don't don't be general. Be specific. Express yourself. No two cover letters are the same, nor should they be. When you apply for multiple companies, you can have some type of template for that, but make sure each cover letter is made specific for that company. Make sure a company for GE is specific for GE, General Electric. Make sure a cover letter for Lockheed Martin is specific to Lockheed Martin. Whatever you do, those cover letters should be specific to that company, and make sure you list examples of what types of things the company does. Let's say you're applying to Facebook. You should talk about Facebook's past, its programming, what types of things they have done in the past. Make sure you show that you've done research. That's how you show interest. And most of all, be specific, right? Be specific on what types of things you talk about. So here is an example of a cover letter. It's mine, of course, for SpaceX, right? So on the top, you have the name. It's very reminiscent of a resume. You have the name. The first thing the recruiter should see is your name. And some people, or most people, like to have all their contact information on the top also, just like how you would have it on a resume. I chose to put my contact info on the bottom. So the school you go to, your major, what class you are, right? Who are you? That's the main point of the heading. Next, for in a paragraph, explain what drives you, what type of person are you, right? So here I opted to show more of my personality rather than my professionalism. And you can see that in my first paragraph. I explain what my dreams are. I explain what type of person I am. I explain what I'm trying to get out of these opportunities that are offered. Next, in the next paragraph, I forgot I have a pointer. In the next paragraph, right here, you have you have to show your interest in the company. So here I listed my interest in their projects, such as the Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, soon to be BFR. Granted, I did not go as specific as I should. That was a mistake. So this here shows that, or at least presumably shows that I show interest in the company. I know what they're working on. I follow all their projects, and I am really interested in the company overall. That's the main purpose of this paragraph. In the third paragraph, you explain yourself. What are you doing in school? How are you doing in school? Why are you in these clubs that you're in? So for example, keeping it specific to the company, I decided to talk about my experience in Rensselaer Rocket Society, where we design, build, and fly model rockets. Right? Be relevant. Since this is a company about aerospace, I decided to talk about my uh, activities and my experiences in the school that has to do with model rockets. This is the part where you talk about your extracurriculars and all the hobbies that you have that may pertain to whatever company you're applying for. And lastly, for the final paragraph, you thank your recruiter for, of course, reading your letter, putting the effort to put them in their put you in their consideration for the job, and of course, ask them maybe a phone call or an email. And then this part was just another way of me putting in my personality, right? Lastly, sincerely, Christopher Chung. Finished. So here is a template that Wesley Chow has made. Of course, your name here, the biggest font on the cover letter. Your name. Oopsies. I don't know why there's another name. Your phone number. This is basically all your contact info, right? Who are you? This is what you're trying to get out of this section. Date of application, that is optional. So dear whoever you're applying to. First is, well, actually, I'll be honest, this template is not really the best because it is very generalized, right? This template is made to be used more generally, whereas you're not specific to a company, and that company might not know how interested you are in uh towards it. So what I would replace with some of these parts, where here, if you were referred by someone, right? That's something you should put. If you have a contact in the company, that is a very big brownie point. But I would also add on to this, what types of things do you know about the company? What types of things would you like to do with the company? Why do you want to be in the company in the first place, right? Here, the template talks about, or at least the template helps you talk about why you're applying in the first place and why you're in a RPI as a student, right? And of course, on the bottom, you have thank you for taking the time, so on and so forth. Very, very simple. So that is the end of the cover letter. So, and here is the QR code and the link for the Q forms or Q signups for if you want to do a workshop of either the LinkedIn or the cover letter or both.
And if you want to have a chance to actually work on and improve your either your cover letter or your LinkedIn profile, then you can do that. And um, once you feel comfortable with or once you've been able to improve your cover letter and your LinkedIn, then you can feel free to reach out to anyone who's on the screen right now, and they'll be happy to review either your cover letter or your LinkedIn profile.
All of these slides will be uploaded on the Discord under Event Information Archive. So if you somehow missed the information or you didn't write down the contact information, it will be up there.